And with this episode ending, we have one episode left of Love Tyrant. And at the core, I think I'm probably pretty happy that this is a 12-episode series and not a 24. And let me explain why. This series at the whole has been very enjoyable. It's been very funny, had kind of an interesting take on parodies and just being self-aware. But this episode really showcases that something like this is probably better for me being a 12-episode series, because anything more, and I think I'd get burnt out. Because most of this episode, I did really like the end, the fact that literally Guri became a demon because of the neglect that Seiji gave to her. I thought that was unexpected, and I was like, oh, that's a really interesting way, because now with episode 12 being the final episode, obviously she's going to turn back into an angel. Obviously everything is going to be happily ever after for, or at least until someone gets stabbed in the head, and Akane is going to realize that she does want to be friends with her. So it'll be a nice conclusion. Like, I think it's probably the perfect way to end a series such as this. But most of this episode, it wasn't bad. Like, the way I would explain it would be familiar. Like, it just felt like a lot of the jokes, a lot of the Shikimi stuff, like, it was just like, I've seen this a few times by now, so it's no longer funny. It's just like, I mean, it's not boring, but I've seen this a few times. And that's something comedy series generally kind of struggle with, is keeping things refreshing, because at the core you have a character, you have their style of humor, and a lot of series I find struggle to find a way to keep it refreshing. It's not to say it's boring, but like, I mean, when she was kind of like going all up against Seiji, like I was just like, we've seen this before, so it's nothing that funny. But I did find it kind of humorous when Seiji was kind of like locking his lips like this, so she couldn't actually make out with him. I thought that was kind of humorous, but minus that, it was just like, we've seen her do this to Seiji, we've seen Akane break in trying to kill her, and then try to kill Seiji because she said something like, oh, this was his idea. We've seen all that stuff, and just the whole Guri stuff, I said a few episodes back, like, I hope it doesn't drag, which it kind of is. I mean, they need to do this because all the characters have more or less come to terms with their feelings for Seiji. It's a harem. We know exactly what's gonna happen, so she was the last one, so it makes sense why they have to do this. And like I said, I think the reveal that she became a demon is actually unexpected. I personally didn't see that coming, and I thought it was a good way to end this episode and set up the final episode, because it will be the perfect ending for the season. If they were to make more of this anime, I would probably watch a second season, but for me, just because of how much the second half has been so kind of formulaic in terms of their comedy, I am glad this is a 12-episode series. This isn't me hating on it, just kind of pointing it out like, okay, it's been getting pretty repetitive. There is a couple of things that get sprinkled off and on that make it feel a bit different, but a lot of comedy series I find do fit better in the 12-episode mark, just because you don't have the burnt out feeling. Because I know if I was watching this for another 12 episodes, more than likely, unless they completely changed a bunch of things, introduced new characters, I would probably just be like, I don't think I need to watch this anymore. But because this is going to be a 12-episode series, I think it's overall pretty fun. This episode really didn't do anything that unexpected, minus the end content. I think just overall, it was a fun episode, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing really that bad, just more or less the same, and I think it sets up a really good final episode, and I'm excited to see how the series ultimately ends. I'm pretty sure I predicted everything that's going to happen in it, but I'm interested to see how they handle the execution. Once again, the animation and everything like that was on point. Just overall, the Guri stuff, it's still kind of dragging, but at least they did something interesting with it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you love the episode? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moment? I really don't have a favorite moment, to be honest. I guess I could say that Guri turning into a demon is probably my favorite moment, but nothing really stuck out as like, this is the best moment to me. But let me know if you have a favorite moment down in the comment section below, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.